Okay, guys, I think we're live. Yes, we are live. Good evening, everyone. It's 6 o'clock. Sorry for the delay. 6 o'clock in the UK time. My name is Adrian Hibbert. We are recording this for anyone who can't attend. And if you are already on the call, thanks for that. But this is the first time for my introduction to this, a new opportunity, which I've been looking at for the last couple of weeks, and I'm getting really excited about this. Just for the people who don't know me, my name is Adrian Hibbert. As I was saying, I'm based in Cardiff, in South Wales, that's in the UK, about 2 hours drive west of London. Just a few minutes, I'll talk about myself before I pass you on to my guests one by one. I'm a property, my main business is property. I've been in property since 1994, after buying my first property. My second property in 1996, I ended up with 38 properties between then and 2007. So most of my wealth has been created in property over the last 20 years, more or less, since I left school. But I came onto the internet in 2008 when the property market took a bit of a dive, and I went off to Spain for 2 years to live between 2008 and 2010, took a 2-year holiday, and then started to look for other ways of making money online as a hobby, really. So just started doing those famous searches, make money online through Google, and got involved with a few online businesses at the time. I started to lose a lot of money back in the early days, but luckily in the last 18 months, I started to make up my losses and start to make money now, and I am well into 6 figures of making money on the internet. And but I really haven't found that number one product to promote. But that's going to prove me wrong now, hopefully, with this new opportunity I'm looking at tonight. But what I'm going to do, guys, like I said, that's my experience. I don't claim to be an expert in things. I'm certainly not a professional speaker of any kind. Like there's a lot of gurus out there, obviously, that do a lot better job than me. I'm one of those average guys, on the internet. But things are starting to happen. So, and I am starting to take the online industry very serious now. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to be doing weekly hangouts anyway, every week, so people can attend these type of things. But I got some special guests on tonight, and I'm going to introduce them one by one. Like I said, this is recorded, and with regards to this opportunity tonight called Swiss Gold Global, I partnered up with a guy in Seattle, West Coast in Washington, a guy called Conley, and he's on the call now, and I'm just going to bring him in now as my business partner within this. Us two guys are going to be promoting this, and we also got a guy called Willmott on the call. He's my upline in this. And also we got the top earner within the business, a lady called Claudia, and she's been in this business now for 8 years since the launch. And just as important, or more important, we got the CEO of the company, Bill Rowell, on the call as well. We'll come over to Bill just in a bit to do the full presentation on this business opportunity. So first of all, Ryan, are you around? Are you there?
Yes, thank you, Adrian. I just want to say thank you, and it's just this has all really come down to divine timing, because I've been active in the Bitcoin industry now for over a year, and I love cryptocurrency, but I see a very strong need to be backed in gold right now and silver. And I've been an online networker for 5 years. I'm getting a little kickback. Maybe someone needs to mute. I'm not sure if that's maybe me. It's on my car phone. But anyways, when I looked at some other gold companies out there, and then what I did is I looked around the world, because I was familiar with the local ones, but when I looked around the world, that was when I found Swiss Gold Global. I looked at some company, I consulted with some other people out there whose opinion that I trusted, and they're like, have you heard about Swiss Gold Global? And I kept hearing about this in Europe. And so I was like, well, I got to take a look at that because I respected their opinion. I knew that when I met Bill Rowell, that just the vibe that I had from Bill immediately talking to him, and when I saw what the price that we were purchasing gold and silver above spot, like a completely reasonable, I saw this as the business model that could be the one that cracked the code to send gold viral out to the world, enough to get everyone's feet wet in it and basically make everyone their gold broker. And the connection between cryptocurrency and gold together, that is a strong interest of mine. And I can foresee in the near future that there's going to be a lot of people in the Bitcoin industry that are going to come down to the conclusion that we have to be backed in gold and silver. And we don't know what this transition is going to be like in the global markets, but we know who's taking part in gold. So when I met Claudia, I was like, it finished really the dynamic in the company of Adrian and, launching this, have the opportunity to team up with Adrian, knowing Bill, and then having a wonderful, beautiful female dynamic, Claudia, in this, who is knows about gold and silver so much. And so I just want to welcome Claudia, and I just love where this company is headed. I think we are at the forefront of a massive gold and silver shift, and this is the company to take part in.
Okay, cheers to that, Ryan. What I'll do before we come on to Claudia, just bring Bill Willmott in. Bill, are you there?
I am indeed.
Yeah, Bill brought me into the business just, I think it's about a week or 10 days ago possibly, and Bill gave me a call, and he knows I'm into different multiple streams of income, so yeah, I had seen this opportunity out and about there, but didn't really take it sort of serious at the time, involved in too many other things, and fair play, Bill brought it to my attention, and we've got to know each other a bit more over the last couple of weeks. So just over to yourself, Bill, for a few minutes. Introduce yourself and what you've been up to for the last couple of years on the internet.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Adrian. Well, basically, I got involved in networking probably back in 2012. So I guess my journey is not untypical of people looking for something to actually make their home. So I tried out different businesses online and offline, and really struggled to find the right one for me. And a few months ago, Prem, my good friend Prem, he mentioned he was working on a new project, and he said he'd give me the heads up when it came along. So then he brought to me Swiss Gold. He introduced me to Bill and Claudia, and straight away I saw the real long-term prospects for the business. I mean, we all know about gold, but we're not always educated about how we should use it and true wealth. And what this company really gives us is a plan for the future that can basically sustain itself. And we have a business with a pedigree going back to 2008, so it's proven. And really what we got with Claudia and Bill is experts in the field that can take us forward and build fantastic residual income on a real asset base. And this is about really preparing for, and spreading the risk around different markets. We've mentioned Bitcoin and digital currency. So what we've got now is a unique model here that can combine the best of physical assets with the best of digital assets, and really, make a home for ourselves that will be here for a long, long time. So I'm very excited. We've got great support. We've got great business, and we are, I think a few people actually about to take this online, because I think historically speaking, this Swiss Gold have been offline. So that gives us a great opportunity, and for anybody else who might choose to come in. So the timing is perfect, really.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Bill. I'm really excited. Looking forward to working with you, Bill and Prem, and obviously Ryan and Claudia. So we've got a great team here in the UK. So really excited about this. So what I'm going to do now is pass you over to the main man himself, the CEO of the company, Bill Rowell. And if you want to just introduce yourself, Bill, and obviously where you're from, where you're based, and what you've been up to for the last couple of years, and how you got involved with Swiss Gold Global, and then follow on with a presentation for our guys here in the UK and the rest of the world. Cheers, Bill. Over to you.
Well, thank you, Adrian. Hi, Bill. Hi, Claudia. Hi, Ryan. Thank you for your vision and your purpose inviting me onto this particular call. If I drop out, just bear with me, because I'm traveling at the moment, and my internet's not the best, so I do apologize for that. But primarily, let me start with a bit of history about myself. I think that's important. You want to know, if you're joining a company, you want to know who you're joining and the history about that particular company. I'm Australian. I've actually in Zurich, Switzerland. Been living here for the last 2 years. Prior to that, I lived in Frankfurt for nearly 10 years. Born in Melbourne, Australia, one of 8 children, raised on a dairy farm, father a motor mechanic. But primarily, something happened in my life. There's an echo happening there. Is that just me, or is it? We need to mute someone, do we?
No, you're fine. That's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. Maybe you have to mute yourself, Adrian, do you? Because I'm getting an echo back, that's all.
Okay.
That's better, thank you. Sorry about that. But primarily, so I was brought up with a very simple life, and that was, work hard for a fair day's pay, and that's meant to provide you a lifestyle. Well, we know in today's world, actually historically, it's not the truth. 95% of people work 40, 50 hours a week for 40 years of their lives and retire pretty much financially dependent on a system which is broke. That's the tragedy, actually, of it. Now, I I wasn't all that good at school, so I was not educated about the financial system or what money actually was. But in 1986, after working primarily in the workforce for a good 10 years and working multiple jobs, I saved up some money and bought myself my first hotel in Melbourne, Australia, with my brother, who was a truck driver for 15 years. And over the next 20 years, we owned 4 small hotels, and in 2005, I sold the last one. So, since 1986, I've been a self-employed entrepreneur primarily. But in 2003, I had a very interesting, let's say, exposure, a mind shift in wealth. Before, I was always geared and mindset of chasing and getting as much as I could because I wanted to live a good life. But the idea of wealth preservation never actually entered my mind. And it wasn't until actually 2003 I went to Zurich, Switzerland, and met with he was a broker actually. In fact, he was a bullion banker with the idea of investing into an international energy fund. And when I went into the boardroom of the Grant Thornton Accountants Office, this particular person said to me, "Bill, we as a company only invest in products from the earth." Now, it's pretty strange words. That were his words, but it resonated with me because during the 1990s, I invested a lot in the .com. Well, I had my hotels. I obviously generate some cash flow, and I put part of it, diversified it into equities, which at that time was the growth cycle of the tech companies. But of course, everything is fine. I mean, any fool can make money in a bull market in a particular market. But when the guts falls out of the market, the real valuation is revealed. And most of these companies that I had invested in actually had no valuation. I was looking out the window here. I could see a helium balloon, and pretty much that's what it was. It was a helium balloon that lost its helium, and it fell to the ground pretty quick, and I still own those stocks today, and the valuation is absolutely nothing. So for the first time, I really understood what Warren Buffett was saying back at that time, because I remember him saying back in the 1990s that he had never invested into these tech companies. He wanted to invest in the companies that had tangible wealth. So that really resonated with me. The other thing that he said to me, or he did ask me actually, is what is money, Bill? And I've got to tell you, I felt pretty silly because I didn't know how really to answer that particular question. I'd never thought about what is money. All I knew was I needed it to live a good life. But I said to him, well, Phil, you know that I've owned hotels, and of course we provide service, and so it's got to be a medium of exchange. People pay us for the service and products that we actually provide, and it has to have a unit of account. And he said, what else? I said, what do you mean, what else? And he said, have you heard of anything by store of value? And I didn't understand the concept of a store of value, and he gave me many examples on the whiteboard at this accountant's office, but primarily he said throughout history, he said gold has been money for 5,000 years, and silver has also been used for money for thousands of years, but throughout history, these are his words, rulers of empires, royalty, and the financial elite have always put part of their paper wealth, you could say digital wealth today as well, into physical gold. He said it may only be 3%, so it's only a small part of your portfolio, but they always put part of their paper wealth into physical gold for diversification and wealth preservation because it is a store of value. Now, I won't go into the examples he gave me right now, but after he showed me the examples, it was like, bam, the penny, as we say, the penny dropped. I got it. I'd never understood wealth preservation before. I was making it, was slipping through my fingers. In fact, our paper wealth today is slipping through our fingers so fast, but it's so heavily disguised we don't realize it. In the next 10 years, this paper stuff, whether it's Swiss francs, whether it's US dollars, euro, it doesn't really matter what it is, it's going to buy less than 50% of goods and services than what it will today, which puts me and you into a very important and I would say, what's the word? Great sense of urgency to actually have multiple sources of income. We have to boost our incomes because whatever you're earning right now, whatever you have right now, 8 to 10 years, it's going to buy less than half of what it does. And that's just to maintain the status quo. We're not even getting ahead. So we're like quicksand. So I come to realize when I was studying the monetary system, the system is designed. It is designed to transfer wealth away from you back to the system. And you know what? I was pretty angry when I heard that, because if I think of my parents, and you probably have similar stories, and colleagues and friends, they're just working, head down, butt up, morning to night, both partners working, no time really for the children because they're so busy trying to survive. They've got no idea or consciousness of what their purpose is in life because they're on the treadmill, like the hamster, I think you call it, isn't it, in the US? You know, so we're trapped. And this isn't a conspiracy theory. This is not a conspiracy theory. You can go look at the quotes from John Maynard Keynes, the economist, the British economist. We basically live under a Keynesian economic system. He says in his quote, the system is designed primarily to control the people through the destruction of currency. It's a transfer of wealth away from him. So when I learnt this, I realized why so many people are busy in lives, never achieving their goals because we're trading our time and our labor. In fact, you're going to work about 40 years of your life and trade about 100,000 hours of your life for a currency that's going to lose more than half of its buying power every 10 years. That keeps us trapped. So the concept of gold and diversification in the precious metals resonated with me. So how did I go from hotels? And in 2008, I founded a Swiss company because I met my bullion banker, who's a good friend today, in 2003. The concept was very simple. Through this unjust system that we live in, let's build a platform that can provide gold, the money of kings, to ordinary people. Very simple concept. So we did that, and we've been doing it since 2008, very quietly, progressively. I probably should be more. I heard Bill and, of course, Adrian speak about the online social media and stuff, but I'm pretty quiet there, which is not a good thing, of course, when you want to expand your business. But this is what you guys will probably do very, very well with Claudia. So because I got involved with this bullion banker, I was doing a lot of work for him because I was living in Europe at the time. I was doing a lot of work with him at the Argo Horizon refinery in Switzerland. There's only 5 refineries in the world which are London Bullion Market accredited to be a referee refinery, meaning that they actually certify other producers. And we were actually minting our own private collectibles. We have our own particular collectibles for private groups and things like that. For example, we could have a Ryan coin. Actually, it sounds pretty cool. A Ryan gold coin, a Ryan silver coin. We can do things like that, and we do this, and it's certified by a Swiss assayer to 99.9 pure, and also the weight is certified to 3 decimal points. So, and primarily in Switzerland, the refineries here do not sell to the public. They do not sell to the public. They only sell to banks and large financial institutions. But because back in 2008, before lots of things changed, and I was approved through KYC and compliance, and they pretty much, you know, they do a biology test on you to get compliance through. I was approved to be able to actually provide their services. So I buy all the gold and silver at London Bullion Market spot price. We then provide that to our members around the world at 2.97% above the market spot price, of which 1% of that goes to our affiliates as well. But then we wanted to move into, we realized the gold and silver was important, but then I came to realize, traveling around the world, is that most people are not in the position to buy gold and silver. They know they need to have it. But most people don't have the expendable income to buy, you know, half a kilo of silver or a King David. Mind you, I think this is our private King David 3-ounce silver coin, minted and certified by a Swiss refiner. I think to become financially independent in our world, we have to become King Davids. The odds are stacked against us. So it takes great courage to do something outside the norm. So I want to thank everyone for turning up and viewing this. We'll also show you some of our gold items here. Claudia can probably show you a lot more. She saves more than me. She's a big saver in that. But anyway, that's a what's that? Oh, that's Claudia's coin. Well, okay. And there's some gold. Well, maybe you should be showing that. You should be showing the gold, Claudia. And here is our Joseph private collectible gold coin as well, based on the Old Testament of the story of Joseph, which is a great metaphor for today. And because during prosperity or prosperous times, people don't save. They consume. In fact, 70% of the American economy today is consumption. That's what keeps the economy going. So the metaphor, I think, of that story of Joseph and the Pharaoh, how they put ancient Egypt on 20% savings plan in one respect of wheat and things and grains, was fantastic. When the famine came, of course, they opened up the storehouse and all the wealth was transferred to them because no one else had savings. So this is really a great metaphor for, I think, for Swiss Gold Global as well. So I've digressed a bit here, so I do apologise, Adrian. Let me move on to the affiliate side. as I said before, I realized that people don't have the money to buy gold and silver, so we wanted to actually, okay, let's start up an affiliate concept with it. Now, I'd been involved with multi-level marketing for many years as well in Australia while I had my hotel. We also did this on the side. But in 2008 or so, I think it was, I flew into the Las Vegas to an MLM startup conference, and I met Rod Cook from the MLM Watchdog. I met Mike Sheffield from Sheffield Resource Network, also the lawyers that work with him, and I said, here, we have a gold company. We want to, I think multi-level marketing is one of the most honest systems, distribution systems that we have today, primarily because it puts the power back into the hands of the consumer. If you like us, you recommend. If you don't like us, you're actually going to be negative towards us, and people aren't going to buy products and services. So I find it a very honest system, and primarily when people share it, of course, we pay commissions, and those commissions can be converted directly into physical gold and silver. We don't take any merchant fees for that. Now, that's just touching on. So our pay plan was designed by Mike Sheffield from the Sheffield Resource Network in the US. Now, if you do your research on him, you'll see that he has 25, 30 years history. He consults the big companies in this home-based business. He's very, very well known. So he designed our pay plan specifically for that. He actually flew into our office. I think even Claudia, she might touch on it. She even met Mike Sheffield. She even met Rod Cook from MLM Watchdog at our office as well. In Panama, we had Bob Proctor, who's involved and a great advocate for us. People may know his name from the movie The Secret. He also flew into our office in Panama, spent some time with us with Sandy Gallagher, because I've been a student of his programs also for many years, and one day I gave him a gold coin back in 2008 and said, Bob, thank you so much. Your programs have really helped me change my life, because you don't go from a farm to owning 4 hotels and, of course, founding a Swiss company doing this. Something had to change between the years. You know, everything else follows that, of course. So I'm a great advocate for these particular programs, and but that's generally what we are now. The program's designed to be available for all people, cost effective for all people. So it's a one-time payment of $199. $50 of that is silver, so the real cost to you is really $149. You enroll 3 people, you've already got your money back, you've already got your silver for free. We call that being paid to save. And of course, on the monthly membership is $50 per month, of which 25% of that's physical silver, certified Swiss silver. You can sell back the next day. And sell back's a really important thing. Of course, you've been accumulating, diversifying your wealth, paper assets into, or digital assets into gold and silver. Unexpected event occurs, or maybe you want to take a trip the other side of the world and you want some extra cash. Well, it's very simple. You log into your membership account, you say how many grams or ounces of gold or silver you want to sell, you place that order. The next London Bullion Market pricing that goes to the market price, whatever the sell price is, that's the price you get. We don't take any fees for that. The price that we get is the price that you get. That's part of the membership service that we actually do provide. And primarily, that's the nutshell of what Swiss Gold Global is about. It's designed to educate people about what the monetary system is, not to blame the monetary system. We only live in this system because we're dumbed down not to understand how it operates. So as we consciously awaken ourselves and the masses improve in the knowledge and understanding, they won't be able to do these things to the people. They won't get away with it. And through social media and through the work that you people do on social media, you're educating people, which is a fantastic thing. So that's really the whole concept of Swiss Gold Global. Be paid to save in gold and silver on a very liquid platform. And just to finish up on the next couple of months, we'll be launching, I think Ryan mentioned also the digital currencies. I'm no expert in this, but one thing is for sure, the 21st century money is digital currencies, and you need to be engaged with that. So with Swiss Gold Global, we're actually working, our engineers are working very, very hard to bring you a physical exchange concept where primarily you'll look at the new face look of Swiss Gold Global a couple of months from now. You'll have your digital mining, 21st century money in one respect. You'll have your physical mining, which is gold and silver, been around for 5,000 years. So you have the new money with the old diversification, trusted source of money, gold and silver. Then have your share revenue, share our concept, you get paid commissions, which you can convert into physical gold and silver, or you convert into crypto, or the other way. And of course, in the end, you want to be paid so that you can improve the quality of your life. That's really who we are, what we've been doing, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. I want to say that yesterday I was talking to Claudia, and after looking over her Facebook profile, that I could tell that she had a strong sense of what's about to take place. And Claudia, I really enjoyed listening to you talk, and I have a lot of respect for those people that are invested in gold like that. Like, I mean, I see strength in a woman that carries gold like that. I'm happy for Claudia's success. I'm happy for you, Bill, you guys are my mentors in the gold industry, and like, I want to be at that level. It's given me a lot of security to be invested in Bitcoin and the streams of income that I have coming in digital currency. But I want to preserve this in gold. And so, Claudia, can you just touch on like being an outsider looking into the United States, for example, where you see all our stuff going on, not to get too political here, but as a smart, intelligent outsider looking in tune with all that's going on in Europe, the Brexit and everything, how you see a lot of people, what stood out to me, what you said was you see a lot of people that are not prepared in the United States right now. Can you elaborate, please?
Oh, yes, very much. And actually, I'm going to share you a very quick story. I remember some years back, I think it was actually the 2008 or 9, it must be. I came to New York. I entered a taxi. I didn't have any dollars. I had just my gold and a credit card. The taxi driver said, I don't accept credit cards and I don't want dollars. Do you have gold? And so he was Italian. So Italian maybe understand a little bit, and I actually showed him the gold, and he was like, breathtaking. It was very funny story. But yes, I mean, I always talk about, when traveling to the United States, and I hear echo as well. I don't know, guys, if you could just mute somebody, that would be nice. Otherwise, I hear myself. Yes. That's fine, thank you. So so I travel a lot to the United States, and every time I talk with people over there, I mean, they really have no clue. I mean, first of all, a lot of them, they don't even know that, of course, but they live in the United States, which is a pretty big country, lots of different states, lots of different cultures in there. But they're very, very uneducated, I believe, when it comes to, not talking in disrespect, but really when it comes to what really is gold and silver and how important role it plays in the monetary system. And most of them, they have no idea about, the dollar, the purchasing power, how it's lost. And so they're just working very hard. And I know in the United States people, I mean, they're one of the most hardest working people. I think they have 1 week or 2 weeks holidays. I couldn't even imagine that, which is crazy. So they're really all very much stressed out and, chasing this dollar, which continuously is actually losing its purchasing power. And so, look, for me, it's very simple. I always talk on my story. My story is I come from East Germany with 15 years of age. I escaped East Germany, the Iron Curtain. My big admiration was United States, was of course the gringos, or well, the Americans, because wow, freedom, you have to, everything, basically you can achieve anything you really want in your life when you just go to the United States, or when you're just on this other part of the world, coming from Iron Curtain. When then I realized, when I actually made it through, eventually we got released and we made it through, and I just started life and started to study a career and started to get a job, and I realized I didn't get by myself in Germany living with a job, which is basically on a salary, having to work, looking for another income stream to just get by. Get by because I like to buy nice things as well, but I couldn't do that with just normal, ordinary work. And so I was thinking myself, like, well, what's really happening here? Why didn't I escape and do all this effort and the sacrifice I went through really to be able to have financial freedom? And so when and this is a little bit part of my story, and that's why I'm so passionate about Swiss Gold Global, because what we really here do is wake people up when we show them those comparisons. Hey, do you know what happened with this dollar? Do you know that every 8 years, actually, your dollar purchase you only 50%? Now, is your salary in 8 years really raising 50%? Is it, or is it not? And most people, they say, well, it's not. And so what we're really about is show people, hey, you got to do something about it. If you're not there where you wanted to be, well, then you have to change things in your life. You got to really look at it from a different perspective. And so I have been in this, since I said, like in the day, really day one, because I knew Bill from my prior company where I worked for customer service. I actually worked in the network marketing industry, but as an employee in that company. And so I trusted Bill very much. I know that what the caliber of a person he is, and the persistent he is. Bob Proctor, which is also my mentor, and I've studied with him, and he calls me the Gold Queen. He always talks about persistence. I've never met anybody who's more when he got something, when he got hold on something like Bill Rowell, the owner of Swissquote Global. And so all this passion for me, of course, is really, it's a mission. It's a mission to wake people, because I lived in Panama, and Panama, of course, has a lot to do with America, of course, lots of Americans, expats living there. I've lived literally there when the crisis hit. The ships did stop in the Panama Canal. There was a lot of stress, a lot of struggle. They couldn't pay anymore the men on the ship and whatsoever. A lot of companies went bankrupt one day of the other. But because we had the gold, so it was different. You have a different feeling of safety. And so, again, we don't want to preach fear, but I understand that every time I go to the United States and I go often, I see people just have no clue, because they're living in their little space where they're living without really thinking globally. And you got to think globally today. That's just the way it is. You must think globally. And so Swissquote Global, of course, offers you something which I have been accumulating, since like gold, silver. And so I have a safe haven. So whatever happened, it doesn't matter what happened, I always basically will be able to go out of this crisis. And that's very, very important. And that's our mission. Yeah. And I love crypto. And I love crypto. I have been following crypto since day one, literally.
We're going to be good friends. I just want to say that, Claudia, what you said right there is like you've lived the extreme side through all those crisis times, and you've came out just radiating like a beacon. And because this is going to affect across the entire world. We look at what's happening. We look at Bill, if you want to just touch base on real quick the document that was signed. And correct me here properly, that the governments are going back to a gold standard. So, correct?
Well, I'm not 100% sure about that. There's what's revealed to the people, what's really going on behind the scenes, it will be yet to be revealed. But there's one thing's for certain: the fundamentals of our economic system have not changed. The illusionary, the quantitative easing, the printing of money, pumping up the equities markets and different things, zero interest rates, all these types of things. You don't have to be an economist. I am not an economist. However, we know that things are not right. Claudia mentioned the point of diversification, and I think that is the key. We don't want to preach fear. It's all about preparation, having understanding. When you have the right understanding, you can be prepared. When you're prepared, you can prosper during these times of change. That's what we're really coming about. Sure. We have China buying up, for the last several years. They've actually, since 2008 crisis, they've more than tripled, probably quadrupled their actual gold holdings. So in one sense, the central banks around the world tell us that this yellow relic has no relevance in today's monetary system. But at the same time, even this year, 2016, central banks have increased their holding of physical metals. I'm talking physical metals now, of gold. When Germany tried to repatriate its gold back from the US, back to Germany, they said, well, you can't have it. It's going to take so many years to do it, which really, if that was there, they could just put it on a ship and ship it straight back. They have the power and the military ships to do that, don't they? So there's many, many things happening on in the monetary system. And again, we're not about speculation. We're about understanding, preparation, and actually winning during these times of great change. And it's about accumulating the gold and silver, as I was advised back in 2003, to diversify. Put 3, 5, 10% of your paper wealth, or maybe digital wealth, into physical gold and silver. It's a no-brainer, and it's very, very, very liquid, which is great.
Well, I think those numbers are on the low end right there. I mean, 3 to 5%. I'd be like all in and using this as like a Bitcoin vault is the way I see it. You know, you've seen a lot of hacks in these Bitcoin things, and I love Bitcoin. But to be able to be in a vault and be able to transfer in and out of that, that just makes sense. And I've just been living by a little saying lately. It's black or white. You know, a spade's a spade. And so what I'm talking about is having two options there. Once I identify something that's not the right choice, for instance, using fiat money, then you go with the other choice, and that's up to you. So as people wake up, we really have a moral obligation to take, how I see it, is to take part in this system. We really, truly do, more strongly than just going out in there and voting or doing anything like that. Like, this is something we have to do and be a walking example for our children and our neighbors and the people in the community and our friends all around the world. So I think this is the right opportunity to do just that.
Yeah, so I may just touch on the 3 to 5%. That was the number I was told back in 2003. Yet, of course, there's many things have changed since 2003, Ryan. In fact, we see some of the big hedge funds managers around the world now. They're actually saying they're having up to 30% maybe held in precious metals. Primarily.
Was that Rockefeller or Rothschild this last week that said we're out of here? Who was that? I forget. What guys were those?
I think it was one of the Rothschilds said that they actually holding quite a bit of significant amount of gold. They probably always have, but they've just increased, they've diversified maybe out of equities and put some of that money back into gold because it's a safe haven. That's really.
But it was the exact quote, Claudia. You remember that quote that they said there? I mean, they were really good. That's just a sign right there, a big sign.
Well, you do. The big players are doing it, and the great thing about Swiss Gold Global, we allow all people, from as little as $25 a month, less than $1 a day, to diversify paper, this stuff, which historically has always returned to its intrinsic value of 0. That's the thing. So it's not for generational wealth building and inheritance to your children's children.
Now you all know. Now you all know. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Bill Willmott just sent me a message saying Prem is on the call. I'm not sure if Prem wants to come in and say.
And Adrian, the quote actually which Ryan was looking for was the one which also not Ben Bernanke, Alan Greenspan said. In the absence of the gold standard, there's no way to protect savings from confiscation through inflation. There's no way. So that's in the absence of the gold standard, and that's what the Rothschild said, and of course that is what Alan Greenspan, who was actually the president of the Federal Reserve Bank, said.
Could I just say something about Prem, Ryan, before he comes onto the call? I think Adrian mentioned it because I've known this gentleman now for some time, and I must say he is a sophisticated, very, very knowledgeable banker. He understands what's happening in the markets today. He understands gold and silver very, very much. So I'm very honoured to be able to also work with people such as Prem. He is a banker. He understands the system much better than me. I'm involved in the gold and silver side.
There you go, Prem. It's all yours, Prem. You want to introduce yourself and just let everyone know where you're from and how you got involved with this incredible opportunity.
Sure. Thanks, Adrian. Thanks, Bill, for that introduction. Sorry, guys. My children are being very noisy downstairs. I'm actually in the bedroom right now, and I couldn't find my headphones either, so I apologize. Ryan, great to meet you here. I've been in the city of London, in the very core of banking. I know so many things that would scandalize even the media if I could reveal them to you. I've only ever dealt with people from $3 million onwards in net worth, and I've advised the likes of Rothschilds, not Rothschilds directly, but people like that have a bunch of people like me on a panel, and all of us contribute to it, and then they pick and choose whatever they want to do anyway. But it's people like me that end up, doing a lot of research and reading and coming up with ideas for them. And that was my job, basically. I was a private banker. I worked with Swiss as well as American banks. I started my career with Merrill Lynch in London, which went under and became Bank of America, which then sold us off to Julius Baer and all sorts. I was behind the desk. I was actually at my desk watching September 9/11 happen. It was early in the morning for us in the UK. Sorry, it was around lunchtime, just after lunchtime. I was at my desk when Lehman's was collapsing over the weekend, wondering the following weekend whether I would have an employer or not in Merrill Lynch at the time. So I've been through all this, and the questions you ask, specifically the political questions, the election circus that has come to town in the US, and the rest of it, this is something that I believe I maybe look too deep into this, and some call it conspiracy theory. I just try to use facts and figures and data and pull it together for the people that aren't thinking yet. And those are our audience. Those are our network marketers, because people chase after money, but they don't necessarily understand how the whole picture comes together nicely. And I can tell you very confidently, I'm an ex-affiliate of Carrot Bars, and what we have here in Swissquote Global blows Carrot Bars out of the water for a whole bunch of reasons. And I must mention this because I only got into network marketing because of Carrot Bars. So I quit my full-time banking job in the City of London in a specific square mile where even the Queen needs a written permission to enter that area. It's controlled by the old boys. It's controlled by a club of people that control pretty much the rest of the banking world across the world. So just by way of short introduction, obviously I work closely on a regular basis with Bill Willmott, who's also here on the panel, and we are phenomenally well supported by our CEO and Claudia at all times, just like this. So obviously this is where we get to know each other, but even after this, connect with me anytime you want. I'll try and make as much time for you as possible, because the questions you asked, and I've been listening for a few minutes, the questions you asked are, I believe, something we need to phrase in a positive, hopeful, forward-looking way to our audience that is by now realizing that, you know, it's not a bed of roses. There's something seriously wrong with the economy generally, and of all the opportunities out there, if they're not in this one, they are going to regret it very, very soon. We make it affordable. It's the highest quality possible, a phenomenally good support, and you know, you're already on board, so I don't have to sell the idea again to you, but I hope I'm expressing myself that we are actually in a phenomenal environment with Swissquote Global, and this is one company I'm willing to put my name to. And in the coming few days, I'll be running a comparison with other gold-based opportunities, their pricing structures compared to ours. I'll compare even the retailers for gold. And this is simply to draw people's attention just how superior we are in so many different ways. And, you know, that's all I'll say for now. I mean, you know, I'm sure Adrian will have some question for Bill also. And if you have any further questions, please go ahead.
Okay, yeah, thanks for that, Prem. It's great to know that we have somebody like you as a great leader in the UK on Bill Willmott as well. Obviously, this is great to know this now. I feel like I'm amongst a great bunch of professionals. You know, I'm no expert in gold and silver. I'm an expert in property. Don't get me wrong, but if I'm not an expert in something, all I want to do is follow the experts and sort of pick their brains and sort of learn from them. You know, and my plan is now is to take this opportunity to the next level, and I've got enough money in properties. I've got enough money in Bitcoin as well, and I want to get my level of assets now up, sort of in gold and silver to the next level. So that's my reason for joining this opportunity.
Hey, Adrian, and the thing about it is that we all bring something very special to the table. You know, I call them ingredients or characteristics, however you want to look at. Like, I really felt coming into this that you brought characteristics such as leadership and credibility, and really the desire to bring something special to the world, something beyond just another dollar. Like, we're so sick and tired of just chasing fiat currency. Like, we want the real stuff, and we want our people. We've just come to the senses that it's time right now, and we can really play a role in this transformation of wealth. I mean, I see us all as like angels, like we are here for this reason right now. Like, I mean, I've been doing a lot of meditation work and stuff a lot lately. We kind of talked about this before. We had some fun discussing this, but really, what is our life calling here now on this earth? Like, why are we all here? Why did we meet each other? Why We're all around the world. Why are we right here, right now? You know, why is everyone going to watch this video? How is this going to do their life? But it's like, I really feel that my calling on this planet right now is to get gold back out to the world as fast as possible. This is a vehicle with ingredients of trust and everything that you guys bring, ingredients of technology, you know, ingredients of your past, Claudia. I mean, a realness, you know, that credibility, you know, Prem, you from the financial market, all this thing. I'm just seeing this, then just, you know, what I want to accomplish with you all, and what I think that everyone out there is ready to after they've been with these cryptocurrencies that are not backed by a living force. Gold is a living force, and and so there's something to it, I believe, on a spiritual level, however you want to look at a karma level, when we transfer wealth out there, and I'll shut up in a second, but we transfer wealth, a living object, instead of these dead presidents, a living object, life, if it is, okay, a rock, right? Okay, it's an element, a living element. So, I mean, I think there's really something to that I'm interested in watching what it does, but I'll tell you what, I've been talking to some people in the gold industry, and they talk about karma that's involved in doing just that and helping get gold out to the world, and I've just had such a beautiful past 10 days. Like, I mean, the people that have come in my life, the miracles that have happened just for partaking in this system, instead of being consciously associated with a system that is basically giving negative juju because you're partaking in it. Like, if you're going to partake in that system, you need to be partaking in this system also to balance out your karma, is how I see it right now, because I can tell you the beautiful stuff that has happened in my life the past 10 days that I've been partaking. So I'll just leave it at that. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing how it touches everyone's life that actually takes action.
Can I touch on pricing, Ryan and Adrian and Prem?
Yep.
I think this is, and maybe Prem would like to touch on this as well from his experience. You know, a lot of people get caught up on gold and silver. They look at it, the price is up, the price is down. You've really got to look at it from across currency in one sense, because, you know, people say, oh, I experienced it from 2008, primarily gold from 2003 to 2011. It went up probably 800% or close to that. And then there was a pullback, and that's a pretty much a normal thing. And the masses, of course, they said it's all over. It's a done deal, of course. But the pullback of, you know, maybe 45 to 50% is a normal retracement, even in equities and different things, housing prices sometimes, and everything. It's a normal global phenomena. But at the same time, when after 2011, when silver hit $50, of course, you know, I mean, the masses are selling. It was JP Morgan that bought up nearly 70 million ounces of silver. It was the Shanghai Futures Exchange that bought up about 70 million ounces of silver as well. If we go back to 1971, when it went the fixing from when President Nixon took it off the gold standard, and the price was at $35 an ounce, it went from $35 an ounce to $50 to $100, and people couldn't believe it. They said, no, that's not going to go anymore. Went up to $200, pulled back to $100 on the currency. And people, of course, the masses had no understanding, lack of knowledge, and speculatively, they all got out. The next 4 to 5 years, it went from $100 back up to $800 plus. Now, we've had our retracement now. Don't be speculative. Accumulate, diversify, whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever you want to do, accumulate. You have the ability to liquidate very easily, so you don't have to have the fear of that. But buy in for the right reasons and have a long-term view. I think that's really important too. Maybe Prem would like to comment on that.
Well, Bill, also right there, if someone wants to transfer, I've heard of people going into carrot bars, and or people coming into Swiss Gold Global, and it's like it clicks in their head. They're like, you know what? I just want to throw in our retirement accounts into this, like buy a substantial amount. What kind of transitions have you seen people been doing that? Because to me, it makes sense. You know, I mean, if gold or silver doubles in the next 2 years or something, and the dollar busts, which we know it's going to, it only makes sense.
Yeah, and people also get caught up and say, well, gold doesn't give you any return. You have gold sitting in the corner, it pays no dividend. But you know what? You put a bunch of this stuff under your bed, it doesn't pay any dividend either. In fact, the longer you leave it there, the less it buys. As Claudia said multiple times, you put a chunk of gold or silver under your bed for the next 10, 15, 20 years, hand it to your children, it's going to have the same buying power as the day that you actually put it away. That is the significant difference in one sense. It's about wealth accumulation, preservation. It is an insurance, a liquid insurance policy. And maybe Prem would like to touch on what I've just said there.
Yes, thank you. So as far as the pricing is concerned, we've got a mental block in many people. First of all, including my own old boss, he got in touch with me day before yesterday. He saw some of my video on YouTube or something. He's like, "Hey, dude, you're really, doing a big deal of this." Because I've got a lot of stories to tell to people, and he's a bit nervous I might reveal too much, But he got in touch and he's like, yeah, clients are happy because they shorted gold and now they're making money. You see the trader mentality. We're not getting into gold for sake of quick gains today, tomorrow, or in a year's time. We are, like Bill said, we are using it as an insurance policy. You put away a little bit, just as you pay into your monthly insurance. You have your car insurance. If you spread it out over monthly payments instead of paying a lump sum, it's the exact same thing. What is your life insurance? What is your car insurance? It is basically you are betting against yourself that if I mess up, I'll get paid, or I won't face a substantial loss. This is the exact same thing. So we need to train people into a more savings attitude, and then be able to tell them, guys, look, you don't just save from your own wallet. You don't have to save. Claudia is an excellent example, actually. Every time she says it, she says it so clearly. This gold I've got, and I'll add you to one of my private groups in Facebook, where you can see a whole bunch of pictures. That is Claudia's private gold collection, and she didn't spend a single dime of her own money on it. This is OPM, Robert Kiyosaki's, other people's money, right? And where does that come from? It just comes from introducing other people to a saving system, and the company is willing to share some of the revenue with you. You introduce more people and keep introducing more people, it just becomes a share numbers game. So for a $25 a month savings plan plus a $50 a month auto ship, which is extremely affordable, both the affiliate program and the Simple Saver program, we're looking at numbers. And we're looking at numbers that constantly and continually pay, and this is where Carrot Bars fails. And I'm going to run through this properly. I need to do this video so people will realize and wake up. 90% of Carrot Bars affiliates are doing absolutely zero performance because there is no auto ship. They just buy one big cardboard box and sit on it, and unless they're constantly recruiting, they're not making any money. Here what happens is you will recruit just 3 people and your cost is covered, so you're saving for free. They have just a simple task to do, and your savings plan is an extremely competitively priced. I mean, as Bill mentioned, 2.97% over what is practically a wholesale daily price is unheard of. I must say there are a couple of online companies that can do it a little cheaper, but in our case, let's get to sell back for 0%. We are soon going to add this fungibility where cryptocurrency comes in and gold gets deposited in your back office with just a couple of clicks. And on top of that, we've got the best quality gold in the world, which is basically Argo Heraeus. I can't think of a higher company. Maybe Pamp Suisse is a little bit of a competition, but in terms of a sheer quality, for an affordable $50 a month, we're giving people the Rolls Royce of gold. Something, Carrot Bars would kill to have a license to distribute Argo Heraeus, and they haven't got it. So without, this is obviously a bit of private hangout, but this is a message that needs to be delivered out there to the world systematically in a positive way. And as far as pricing is concerned, I say this every single time. It doesn't matter what the price of gold is today or tomorrow. If you are saving like clockwork every week or every month, just the exact same dollar amount, over the year you'll get the average price, and you have achieved something much better than a speculative investor who goes all in $1 million a day, and the next day it goes down 2% and he's already regretting losing $20,000. So that trading mindset needs to be avoided. We just tell people, no, you choose your level. You are getting the best product at very good prices. Just keep accumulating like blindfolded, okay? And then start introducing people if you want to build more income. And we have, like I said, my private group, I think Bill Willmott, I think he can maybe add you to the, or even Adrian can add you to the secret group I've got. It's secret for now because I only wanted paid up, ready members. We've got banners in there, we've got all the documentation and everything, and I occasionally make videos as well for the team. But the idea that group exists is so we can be there for each other, support each other. We've got a Skype syndication happening as well, where we support each other's Facebook posts, whatever. If that's a method of marketing you would like to do, then you're welcome to it. But what we do is we try and help each other. I'm not going to pretend to be a big leader in the industry. All I can say is I have a degree of knowledge. I have some understanding of what's going on in the world geopolitically, spiritually, and also economically. I am an economist. When I take these things together, I have a story to tell, and people usually listen to stories. They'd rather watch a movie than a documentary, and they'd much rather watch a documentary than actually watch the news, which is facts and figures, even if manipulated. So going by entertainment value, I think stories stick. I can bring that entertainment. If you can leverage off the back of it, I'm all yours. I'm here to work with everybody on this panel as best as I can. So when it comes to specifics, just shoot me a few bullet points. Can you do something about boom, boom, boom? And I'll come out with whatever is necessary, and you leverage it anyhow you like. Back to you.
Okay, thanks for that, Prem. That was brilliant. It's great to know we got you there as support. That's brilliant. I just want to ask a few questions. If you can answer from your experience. From an MLM point of view, sort of the legal side, the legislation side of things, I'm assuming, Bill, that everything's covered that way. Because as you know, a lot of internet marketing companies, MLM companies, they come and go over 12, 18 months, 2 years, or they fall into legal problems or the way it's set up. Is everything all sound there from that point of view, Bill?
It's a good question, Adrian. I mean, we're a global company, so regulatory-wise, this is, first of all, let me back up. That's primarily the main reason why we had the pay plan designed by Mike Sheffield's the Sheffield Resource Network in the US. So it was designed to meet the US law in that respect. Now, regulations and other countries and things, they change. There's no one given law that covers all countries. But primarily, you're not selling gold. You're inviting people to join a private membership club subscription, and as part of that, you're being paid commissions, and they get some silver, and they get the services of Swiss Gold Global. I'm a licensed gold and silver trader at the Dubai Multi Commodity Center, so I'm licensed to be able to do that. The storage facilities of Loomis, which is a London Bullion Market accredited storage facility in Dubai and in Zurich, is completely licensed by the LBMA. I mean, Prem spoke about Argor Horias as a refinery. In fact, of course, PIMS is a great refinery, but there's only 5 refineries in the world which are London Bullion Market accredited to be a referee refiner certifying other producers. Argor Horias is one of those. I don't believe PIMS actually is. I might be wrong, but it doesn't really matter. The gold is 24 carat, 99.9, and there's silver also. I can't guarantee that everything is perfect in every part of the world because the regulators do what they do. They regulate and the game plan changes. So as entrepreneurs, we have to adapt and deal with things, put the bushfires out as they come. That's just the way it is. But I think we've been going since 2008, quite passively, of course, but of course, become more vocal and become more out in the open, you're going to attract different things as well. But I believe that we're very, very strong there and fundamentally correct there, Adrian.
Okay, that's great to know, and that's brilliant to know. What about Prem touched on it? You mentioned Carapaz. So who's our competition right now? Then is it obviously there's Carapaz. I know there's another company. I don't know if you want to mention it. There's a UK-based company. Well, I may as well mention it, called Legacy Gold. How do they fit into all this? Are they our competition, Legacy Gold and Carapaz? Is there anybody else out there that we can compete with?
If I can answer that, Adrian, I think I'll cover a few things here. Carapaz, first of all, strictly speaking, under UK law, under the Department of Trade and Industry regulations, Carapaz in the UK are effectively illegal. The reason they operate is they operate under European sanction rather than UK law. So under UK law, any MLM package you have, any trading scheme you have, is not allowed to charge more than £200 in the first 14 days or first 30 days of you signing up.
Right.
The Carrot Bar's VIP package is €2,000. That disqualifies them straight away. Secondly, they don't have 14-day refund policy, which is mandatory in the United Kingdom. The moment you sign up with Carrot Bars, you lose your money. They will not give you any refund whatsoever. Okay? And what makes it even worse is because they deliver you a physical package, the moment you pay, the process starts, the physical package comes home. The moment you sign off on the FedEx delivery guy's board, you've lost your right to charge back. Okay? So for
Could I add something there, Adrian?
Yeah.
Prem?
Yeah.
Okay, you raised some great points there. First of all, we do have a 14-day full guarantee. So if you signed up for $199, which $50 of that is silver, and you wanted to get out and get your money back, bam, we accept credit cards. The money would be back in your account after the refund period. If it's outside the refund period, you could sell back your silver, because $50 of that is silver. You can sell that back. You're still getting money back into your physical account. So these things are very, very important. On the competition side, you use the word competition, Adrian. You know what? Yes, there's always going to be other companies out there, but you know what? And Ryan actually used the word a spiritual journey, karma. If we are focused on changing other people's lives and real about it, you know what? People are going to feel our vibration. They're going to feel our soul. If we're real and we're truthful and we have high integrity and we do what we say, okay, people are going to connect with that. Because not everyone's going to like us. That's okay. But I'm just saying we have to be real, follow through with our mission, and as long as we do that, I learned this in the hotels. I remember very clearly, if I could just touch on that, 1991, the interest rates in Australia were 21.5%. I was burdened to the hilt with debt. Standing outside in a hotel and think, what the hell am I going to do? You know, I was on the verge of going out the back door. Something clicked. And I looked at all these other hotels were popping off around me, and I didn't have the best hotel, didn't have the money to renovate it, needed a good renovation. I didn't have the money, but it just popped into my mind. Serve the people. Become the best that we could do at serving our people. Give them the best product. Welcome them in. When Ryan came into my hotel, we knew what he had. We knew where he liked to sit. We knew what his drink was. He'd be there waiting for him as he came in through the door. When he left the place, we'd say goodbye to him. This is the same in this game as well, to be quite honest. So I'm not so worried about competition, because there's always going to be someone who's going to beat us on maybe the gold price. However, they don't pay 1% out to the affiliates in commissions. We pay our people to get paid to save in gold and silver. So this is just from my perspective, being the CEO and founder of the company. I believe if we're real about it, looking after the people changing their lives, and we deliver what we say, the people who resonate with our message will come on board, and the ones that don't will pass our door and go to the next restaurant. It's just the way life is, and that's okay. Maybe they'll come back later on.
You know, sorry to interrupt in there, Adrian and Bill. Bill, you're too polite, so I'm just going to tell Adrian what probably Adrian would like to hear. Legacy Gold in the United Kingdom started only a few months ago. They've got absolutely no experience with gold, precious metals. They are network marketers from a separate, different network marketing company before. Sean Charity is the CEO, and Phil Llewellyn is his right-hand man. I've spent hours talking to them. They tried to recruit me and negotiate with me. And the reason I declined is because they were UK only to begin with. They're only just opening up in Spain, and they have one little toehold in France. They can't get into Germany right now. So they're very limited. That's number one. Number two, their gold is officially 10% over wholesale price. Not good enough. We do 3%. Okay? Their gold, point number three, their gold is Betts. Betts is basically a Birmingham-based company. It may be from 1760 or whatever, but Betts is recycled gold. So all the sell us your jewelry, gold jewelry, will pay you cash kind of scams all over the place. They take that gold, melt it down, and recycle it, and it's not London Bullion Market Association certified. So it's not LBMA gold. It doesn't matter, as they say, and people will tell you this, Adrian, Gold is gold. What difference does it make? You've got 999, I've got 999. You've got 24 carats, I've got 24 carats. Gold is gold. No, it makes a difference. You take a Betts bar of gold to your local pawnbroker and you take Argo Heraeus to your local pawnbroker, you will get a better premium for Argo Heraeus. It's like taking a Skoda into your second-hand dealership and a Mercedes, both the same age, both the same engine size. Which has better residual value? The Mercedes, not the Skoda. Okay, the Skoda is good today, these days, but you get the point. You know, some have better residual value than others. So legacy really isn't even a competition, and I keep getting messages from the CEO congratulating me and this and that, but I'm not joining them. I'm telling you this now. I have no interest, and their package is too expensive. The compensation plan is slightly more aggressive than ours, but they'll struggle, and they have to focus on UK market only. We have the rest of the world. This is exactly how Ryan's here. You know, they have no way of getting Ryan on board. So the other
we have silver too, of course, Prem. We have silver as well, of course, which is the other thing. And the other thing, of course, is also, just so people know, I don't get to play with your gold. Okay? It's held within what we call the London Bullion Market chain of integrity. So you put an order in, the order's put into to Argo Heraeus wholesale account. I buy it at the LBMA price. Okay? When you want to take physical delivery, it goes then, it's transported by an armoured truck from the refinery in southern Switzerland near the Italian border to Cloton in Switzerland, where it flies into Dubai, and it's held by Loomis, which is a publicly listed company now. Used to be called Willmott, which is a London Bullion Market storage facility. They do all the. They actually pack. They pack under video. They ship fully insured, so we don't get to touch your gold and silver. So the beauty about that is we can say, when Prem gets his gold or gets his silver, he knows exactly where it's coming from. Because counterfeits do exist. I've been to Argo Heraeus many times, and you'll see there, they'll show it on display. You'll have bars of gold. In fact, there was a great scam in Dubai some years back, $200 million scam, where there was a chunk of, the only other metal that's the same weight, exactly the same weight as gold, is actually tungsten steel. And what they do is they get tungsten steel might be $100 a ton, whereas gold might be $45 million a ton. To give you a bit of an idea, 32,000 ounces. They'll get a bit of tungsten steel, they'll gold plated around it, put the stamps on it. The dimensions and size, which is one of the tests and everything, and weight is exactly the same, but unless you drill through it, you think it was a bar of gold. And of course, these investors, instead of getting $200 million worth of gold, they got probably a few $1,000s worth of tungsten steel, which was a great shock to them. So the process is really important, I must say. So that's a valid point that Prem brought up.
Also, I'll just touch on all the other so-called competitors. We've obviously got BitGold.
Yeah.
My personal nervousness, and this might touch on some of Ryan's concerns actually, the founder of BitGold is ex-Goldman Sachs. For that reason alone, I'm going to leave them alone. Okay, I'm not going anywhere near anything to do with Goldman Sachs. But Gold don't have a multi-level program. They have a uni-level only program, and they have a good transferability of gold value onto their own credit card. You can transfer gold, transfer cash. Their gold is very competitively priced. It still isn't Argo Heraeus. We are superior quality, full stop. So I don't see them as competition. They appeal to a totally different demographic. They appeal to a market that doesn't want to get involved with marketing.
Just on that point, just on that point of big gold, I don't want to get into other discussions. I know you're speaking about there. You can buy at 1% or sell from 1% from spot. Okay, so we're talking $13. You've got $13 gross profit from an ounce of gold someone's bought to run your company. Now, how are you going to pay commissions out if you've only got $13 left gross profit? It's not feasible, is it? Now, it's a publicly listed company. I think it's fantastic what they do. But if you look at their balance sheets, which I have done, I think the last quarter they lost $5 million. Fortunately, they've got shareholders, and the shareholders are keeping it up, and they've got about $50 million in the bank. That's the truth of it. But as the concept, personally, as a bullion banker, I like what they do. But I think their model is going to have to change to kill that burn rate. Otherwise, they're not going to survive, to be quite honest.
So let me just come in there, guys. I've got over £20,000 in bit gold as we speak. So what are you saying, Prem, is from a safe point of view, is my money safe there, or what were you trying to say? Should I be selling? Selling my gold and putting it? Yeah, go on.
Your money is absolutely safe there. There's nothing wrong with that. I personally don't necessarily, I don't know if you're into football or not, but if you're a Man U fan, you don't necessarily go hang out with Arsenal people, So this is my way of looking at it. Goldman Sachs are the orchestrators of much of the crisis, and anything that comes out of it, you don't get to be an executive in Goldman Sachs just by being a straightforward banker like me. You have to be connected, and you have to play a bit of a dirty game to get there in the first place, which is why I'm very nervous with Goldman Sachs. That's my personal opinion. Your money is absolutely safe as it can be anywhere else, so there's no concerns there. And I would not encourage you to necessarily move anything. It's just a matter of personal preference. You've got a lot of money locked into BitGold. You could convert that into Argo anytime you like, and have it delivered home, and have it as something physical under your mattress if you so choose, but that's entirely your personal choice. I just wanted to quickly touch on the other two companies. There was one called Emirates Gold Exchange, EM Goldex, which then got renamed into Global Intergold. They ran into a lot of legal trouble because they ended up being caught with tungsten steel bars, and they had no product integrity whatsoever, and a lot of people started saying they are a scam, and they got banned in the Philippines and so on and so forth. So that is another thing that is still floating around. People are still pushing it, but they're doing well in Mexico and Philippines mainly, and places like that, not necessarily tier 1 nations such as the normal Western nations. There's another company called Swiss Golden. It sounds similar to ours, but it's Swiss Golden. It's St. Petersburg, Russia-based. I know Xenia Krager, the marketing director, and the top couple of leaders. I spent hours talking to them. They would not reveal who is behind this Russian company, whose money it is. Could be anyone. But the bottom line is the compensation plan is very, very complex, and you could get gazumped or gazundered. Somebody could jump over you and take away your positions, and all sorts that could go wrong. It's complicated. Again, they're not present in the Western world. So I'm thinking English-speaking nations alone. If you just focus on the English-speaking nations, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, United Kingdom, Ireland, Canada, and US. Just stick to these. In these nations, all the other competition is absolutely useless. The only one that you would consider competition is Carrot Bars. And as far as Carrot Bars is concerned, people join enthusiastically. They even quoting the Bible to defend why gold should be had and this, that, and the other. Ultimately, you end up with a cardboard box, and unless you consistently recruit, you will never be able to unlock the binary bonus. Binary is what kills Carrot Bar's compensation plan for the vast majority of people. You have to know how to work a binary. We don't have that issue. Now,
what about Agamos?
Ilgamos isn't doing anything anymore. They had to switch to Ilcoin, which again got kind of stuck. But if you do your research now, the previous Ilgamos sellers out there have kind of slowly died off, and they've been promoting all kinds of other opportunities that are fast turning. In fact, a lot of the gold affiliates I knew of, when I started with even Carrot Bars, I was facing a lot of Ilgamos discussions, and both of them eventually went on to OneCoin, which isn't even a legitimate cryptocurrency right now. You see, so people lose hope and move on to the next one. Which is why I think there's a lot of affiliates out there already sold on the idea of what's happening in the economy, why gold is necessary. All they need to know is that penny to drop that, hey, we exist. And you can do your own Google search on Swiss Gold Global. There's almost nothing negative out there about it. Nobody can come up with anything negative. And Mike Sheffield partnership is one of the reasons why. If we are legal in all 50 states, we can even operate in Quebec, Canada, where Carrot Bars is banned officially. Okay, we can operate in all those jurisdictions where everybody else has had some or the other difficulty. Why is that? Because we are not just Swiss, but the masses of the audience, they actually love the fact that we are Swiss because there's a non-banking, away from banking infrastructure that is protected and helps you to acquire and accumulate wealth away from prying eyes in the safety of Switzerland. But we also have Dubai for those that prefer that kind of comfort. So when you start ticking all the boxes, I think we've got about 2 extra pages of tick boxes than any of the competition, and this is why I remain passionate about Swiss Gold Global.
I think that's really powerful right there. Seriously, I mean, just there you go. Sold.
Prem, can I just butt in quickly?
Yeah, go on, Bill.
Sure. I often get questions about the gold, in particular, is it really there? Yeah. And this week we've seen some of the German banks run into a few questions. Yeah. I was just wondering if either Bill or Prem could expand on the auditing side of the gold we have in the vault.
Yeah, I can touch on that, Bill. It's a good question, actually. And you're right. The Deutsche Bank ran into some problems there. Okay, first of all, there's counterparty risk with everything, and the best way to resolve counterparty risk is to take physical delivery. To be quite honest, that's really the best thing. In Dubai, we have an auditing company in Dubai. We have an auditing company in Switzerland. So we get reports each month from Loomis. At the end of, in fact, midnight at the end of each month, we get a precious metal report from Loomis, the storage facility. Also one from Argo Horizon, and also one from the one in Switzerland. And what we do it quarterly, actually. We get our independent accountant, the one in Switzerland that does the Swiss books, and we have our one in Dubai that do the Dubai books. But if people have any, and it's a good question, if you're unsure about counterparty risk, because it's a real exposure, of course, in any particular company that you're associated with, simple thing is just take physical delivery or sell back. That will resolve that issues straight away, Bill. And many of the advocates say that you should obviously take physical delivery, a bit of it, but also some storage. I mean, there's many places, maybe even people could take physical delivery and then get it stored in maybe private storage facilities which are fully insured in their part of the world too. So there's other options there that you'd like to do. But I'm not going to say there's no counterparty risk, because as a business owner, that would be a lie. So there's always going to be counterparty risk. The important part is to take physical delivery, or if you're nervous, you know what, just sell back and take the currency that's the valuation of it. So that's my take on that. Now, as we move forward with the crypto world comes into play, these areas can be, we're not perfect there, but these areas can be even enhanced further, which I think we will need to do, to be quite honest, because I'm a great believer in the blockchain and transparency of that. So maybe this could also be included into the precious metal area as well as an idea, but that's going to take time and development, of course, to actually do that.
Yeah, I guess
if I can just add to that, Bill, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I'll give you a very straightforward example. If you're a Karatbars affiliate today and you wanted to buy a 5-gram piece of gold, you go online, log into your account, go online, and select the 5-gram gold and click buy, and you've just paid $300 for something whose intrinsic value in Swiss Gold Global right now today is $230 or less. So you've already paid $70 more for the exact same 5-gram. In fact, ours is better quality, so we ought to be charging even a bigger premium. But $70 is a huge gap on a $300 product, on a $230 product. So tomorrow you realize, uh-oh, I shouldn't have done that. I didn't want to do that. I want to sell back. With us as a member, you sell back your $230 gold for whatever $30 it's at the market if you're on the 0% sellback. So tomorrow, you paid today $230 with Swiss Gold Global. Tomorrow you sell it for $230, or let's say worst case scenario $220. You've lost $10 right there. Okay, let's say that market has moved a little bit or whatever. It's fluctuated, whatever. You sell back Karatbars today. The $300 gold that should have been $230 you will end up getting only $240 odd back. So you're losing $60 straight away in the spread that they have in the sell back. Secondly, when you buy at Karat Bars, you're buying a physical piece of gold that is stored physically in your back office. When you're buying in Swiss Gold Global, you get what is effectively a physical piece of gold, but it hasn't been converted into a bar yet because you didn't specify. Did you want 5 separate single grams, or did you want a single one of just 5 grams? So because you haven't converted it into a bar yet, your money is credited immediately into your account without any loss, taken into your PayPal, and Bob's your uncle, right? You can't do that with Karat Bars without booking a fat loss on the sale in the first place. And when you then do get your money back, you've already booked a loss and your money is much less than before. So this is a critical difference. If people are nervous, with us, they can liquidate the following day, take the money out, and do with it whatever you want.
Just yeah, if I can come in there, Prem. So why is it then that over the last Swiss Gold Global has been going for 8 years, Karat Bars I think 5 years? Why has everyone sort of joined? What are the figures from customers and affiliates in Swiss Gold Global compared to Karat Bars, and why have so many people more people? I'm assuming more people have joined Karat Bars over Swiss Gold Global, and why is that over the last couple of years?
I mean, to put it very, very simply, there's a fantastic cryptocurrency that is being accepted by retailers and everybody else called Leocoin in London. And why is it that OneCoin is doing better than Leocoin? Simply because OneCoin has a consistent marketing method, and they started out in a way that has captured the imagination of network marketers better than a better, superior, genuine cryptocurrency such as Leocoin. Just as an example, what I understand from my little due diligence research, Swiss Gold Global has actually done a lot of offline network marketing, and because it's a Swiss company, I'm not inclined to ask how many affiliates do we have and who the real customers are, but it's enough for me to know that potentially a government could come and buy gold from Swiss Gold Global and large corporations for their private accounts without being part of the MLM, because Swiss Gold Global actually makes money on selling the stuff, not just through the MLM. The MLM happens to be there to help people like you and me and all the other affiliates. So this is what gives me peace of mind, that first of all, it's been older, but it's used a more traditional face-to-face method of growth, and it's remained very discreet. It's not ever had its name soiled, and this is not the same for someone like Karat Bars. Now, some of the negative publicity they got has actually helped them to capture more attention, work for them, but I don't see them as a competition really anymore. Being a VIP affiliate myself, I can tell you that now. I don't see that as a competition because the product actually has no resale value. You can get as many Karat Bars cards as you want, Adrian. Try selling them on eBay. Nobody will buy them off you, even at half price.
So once the word gets out now in the masses, then between myself, Ryan, obviously you yourself and Bill, and as this starts gathering momentum, surely the people are going to be just dropping off like flies from Karat Bars and joining Swiss Gold Global then.
Well, I'm hoping that's the case, because without mentioning necessarily Karat Bars, without knocking them down, I want to take it upon myself to make it very clear to people. Look at the numbers, look at the facts, look at the reality. We'll present it to you in a short little, presentation, and the penny has to drop on its own. So yes, a whole world of Karat Bars, unproductive affiliates is yours for the taking if you know how to basically hashtag market them.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Just one more question, guys. I want to bring in change the subject. I noticed from a payment processor point of view, you can only use a credit card or a PayPal, apparently, direct payment, or a bank transfer, if I'm right. Why can't we add sort of Bitcoin as a processor to buy the gold, or even Solid Trust Pay or Pazer or any other payment processor?
Yeah. Okay. Right now, Adrian, it's a good question. I mean, most of the companies, a lot of these other companies you've spoken about, they don't even have credit card gateways to start with. Some of the companies that maybe you've been involved with in the past, to be quite honest. We do have a gateway, a credit card gateway. We do have PayPal, and I'm negotiating now. In fact, after this call, I'm actually having a call with Pay2, P-A-Y-T-O-O, because we're a gold company. We're deemed to be, they classify us as high risk, even though we're not speculative in our trading. We fulfill customers' orders, but banking and different things, they certainly look at us very, very harshly when it comes to that. So, but Pay2 are communicating quite well. I believe are going to be approved for the US very, very soon. Touch wood, until it's done, I can't say it's 100%. But there's a company. I think Prem introduced me to them actually. But Pay2, that they have, they're global, 200 countries, been around since 2006. That's a wallet system, so that will be another aspect. Payzer and some of these other companies, that's a counterparty risk as well. Us as a company, we have X amount of money held in a wallet system. You want to know that the company behind there, whether it's in Russia or Ukraine or somewhere like that, or in Seychelles Islands, is also solid. And so, looking at some of these wallet companies, my first question to them is, where is your bank? Where are you? Who's behind the company? And you don't always get clear answers on some of these companies. Now, I've had some experience of Payzer. Payzer's a possibility that we could add it. I mean, they were very long to deal with to get approved by them, but they were pretty good on the compliance. They were there. But there's counterparty risk there. But again, the way to actually reduce counterparty risk is to take your money from them, of course. So we could add other accounts like that. And we will as we move forward. And the crypto, when we add the crypto modules, of course, that's the time we obviously will be able to accept crypto in exchange for payment for precious metals and, of course, even memberships and different things. But at the same time, we want to be able to expand the number of payouts to people as well, because different parts of the world, they don't have bank accounts, people. So the crypto environment, these wallet type systems, third-party wallet systems, are also could be a great asset to have. But I'm also very cautious of them because of the counterparty risk element, to be quite honest, as well. And I'm sure Prem knows a lot about it. I mean, I don't believe most of them are backed by the the FDIC or something like that. So we want to go with someone. Listen, we have Argyle Horizon Refinery, we have Loomis LBMA, we have Bob Proctor, we have Don Failer. We're in Switzerland, we're in Dubai. I'm a licensed trader of gold and silver there. So we have good strategic partners. So whatever future partners I bring on, I want to make sure they're at the same sort of caliber and level as well. Because in essence, we want to make sure we're building a Rolls Royce and not a Trabant in one sense. And Claudia know what that is from Eastern Europe. But that's really why, Adrian. And
okay.
So we're not perfect. There's still lots of work that we have to do, and the payment side of things is certainly one of the things that we have to keep working on. But I am working on it as we speak.
That's great. What about Bob Proctor? How has he been involved in? How did he get involved in all this? And how was he involved in this?
Okay, it's a good question. Primarily, I got involved with Bob because I've been studying his works for a long time. In fact, an MLM company in Australia bought the rights to the Born Rich program, and they put all their diamonds through that particular program. It's while I had my hotels as well. But anyway, I love the programs and got me more focused and clear on things. And in 2008, I went to a symposium in the US in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I think Claudia was there as well, actually. And I gave Bob a gold coin, and one of our third of an ounce gold coins in the story of Joseph. And of course, no one had ever given him gold before. So of course he chased me and said, "What do you do? What's this about?" And I told him the purpose of Swiss Gold Global, to put gold, the money, and kings in the hands of ordinary people. The idea of getting paid to save in gold and silver. He loved it. When I was back in Frankfurt, he rang me up and we connected, invited us out to his office. So we all flew out there to his office and met with him, and he said, "I'd like to provide programs and different things for you as well. You got the gold, you got the silver." He said, Solomon spoke about two things: knowledge and gold and silver. So we wanted to try and put all that together. So he's been a great advocate for that. He's not a distributor of Swiss Gold Global.
Right.
Bob likes gold, no question about that, but he can't because he's an advocate for many companies, of course. But he's a great support, and I just think it's the true gold's between the ears. to be quite honest, not what comes from the refinery. So I'm a great believer that helping people change their life, it's an inside job. Wealth is an inside job, and what we change on the inside expands into our physical world. So I'm a great advocate for these programs because it's changed my life by dealing with these programs, Adrian.
Okay.
It's just a personal passion of mine, that's all.
Oh, okay, that's great. That's great news. And what about Ethereum and Bitcoin? Where does that come into? You mentioned Ethereum and Bitcoin earlier on.
The end of October, Adrian.
And what's going on there? How is that going to be integrated? What's going to be on? Is that we can make commissions off that, or we can make affiliate commissions off that? And how is that going to work?
No, I don't believe so at this stage. Primarily, what we're doing is we're first of all, the important part is having the, as I said earlier on, is having an exchange for crypto. Crypto is a 21st century currency. We need to have it, right. And people need to be diversified as well. It's all about liquidity. And this is a subject probably Prem loves as well. It's all about being liquid in one sense in your life and being able to exchange from different things. In the end, you've got to end up with something in your hand, which means paper currency or digital currency in one sense, to pay our rent, to buy a house, or whatever it might be. So Swiss Gold Global is really going to be a global exchange concept where, again, you take the 21st century money, let's say crypto, 1 cent, digital mining, and an exchange. We have the physical mining, which is the way I see it in my mind. It's been around for 5,000 years. It has a history. It's a strong foundation of wealth. So if you've got heaps of crypto, maybe you like to take a bit of that and diversify that into a bit of gold and silver to make stability, make a foundation, do what the central banks do. They give us the fiat currency, and at the bottom of their wealth pillar they have a bit of gold, whether it's 2%, 5%, 10%, they'll do that. We can do the same with Swiss Gold Global. Then, of course, so that's why I believe it's important that we actually, as we move forward in the infancy of cryptocurrencies, it's such an exciting concept, and the blockchain and the dynamics of payment gateways and things. It breaks the monopolies that a lot of these companies have had in the past of MasterCard and Visa card, these high fees that they charge people. So I'm a great believer in competition, to be quite honest, and new technologies. So, and many people like you guys are probably experts in these areas of crypto. I'm not, and there's a lot of people like me out there that would love to play. When I say play, be involved with some gold. So where do I get it? How they can buy it safe? How can they trust it? Well, we can fill that gap. Well, it's the same with crypto. What is crypto? How do I get involved in it? How do I mine it? You know, so there'll be an educational program there as well, because I certainly need it, and I'm sure there's probably hundreds of millions of people around the world, if not billions of people around the world, that want to be engaged in that as well. So that's why we see it as a very important aspect.
Okay, that's great.
Adrian,
yeah,
if I can just touch on that for you, Adrian, I think this is something we can work on a bit later when Bitcoin and Ethereum is a reality for us. But this is a whole different market out there that already is exposed to cryptocurrency, and they use it, they breathe it day in, day out, but they haven't yet opened up their mind to the fact that that is ultimately virtual. It is not physical, and even there can be scares and panic. So when Bitcoin crashes from $700 to $500 because of one big hack a few weeks ago, that's when Bitcoin investors themselves are the ones looking for, well, how can I secure myself a little better than this? When we have a platform ready, we need to maybe come up with the marketing strategy to tell them, look, have your foot through the door with Swiss Gold Global. Anytime you get nervous out there about your cryptocurrency, come in. Gold and silver is waiting for you. We've got this pricing structure. You can't argue against it. So, and each time these people come in, and eventually, obviously, as you start recruiting more, your ranks improve within Swiss Gold Global. And the moment you hit, I think, one of the ambassador levels, you get overall volume commission in your entire organization as well. So all we need is lots of money coming in, which is very easy if you have a platform. There is nobody out there that takes Bitcoin and Ethereum and converts it into physical gold and silver for you via dollar, and then gives you the option to turn it back into one of the three anyhow you like, anytime you like. Obviously, there's a few delays here and there, but this easy exchangeability from virtual mining to physical mining to fiat currency is something nobody else has, and we are already a year ahead of everybody else. So this is why it's key. When it gets live, I think we need to develop a common sort of mindset to be able to convey that to everybody. I'm fully available to you to help support in any which way you want to take this to another level, but this is the point. There's a whole new demographic that doesn't realize we have something coming that's of incredible value to them.
Okay, that sounds good. What about coming to the end of this now shortly? We've been going now for what time? 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, nearly 2 hours. But what about events? Are there any planned events in whatever part of the world? You know, Australia, America, the UK. Have you got plans for that? Hotel events, or is that too early yet?
Well, I've actually done many events around the world. Actually, I think I went on. Claudia and I went on a tour some years back. New Zealand, we're in Australia, we're also in Singapore. But again, that was more for our private savers in one respect. I know that she was down in the US recently. One of the bishops there, who loves to introduce our gold and silver savings, or being paid to save, is really the concept. The whole purpose is to eradicate poverty in the region, so they like our vehicle for that, of course, to be able to generate cash flow and convert some of it into precious metals. To answer your question, is that there are live events going on, but me as myself, I think yes, as the groups, as the marketers such as yourself and Prem or Ryan, so this, I want to have an event there. I'll be in the US at the end of next month. You know, there's a possibility to do these things. But this is where, you know, I'm not such the stage guy, but I realise I'm going to have to be, of course, to be the face and to share it. So I'm going to have to step up there, Adrian, as well, and that will be my intention. Right. I was never very comfortable being on stage, but over the years and some coaching from Bob, he said, get your ass up there, Bill, and just do it, and believe in your purpose. So, you know, yeah, I realise I've got to be behind it, and I know that Claudia's truly behind it as well, of what that does, and I've got support of all you guys and other people as well. So yeah, we can do events.
As you speak.
Sorry, Claudia.
Sorry, I was just saying we just have today an event in Abuja, Nigeria, with Pastor Jay, and Pastor Onwoko. So today is a live event. We have a 17th in South Florida, an event on September, and we have an event on the 29th in Orlando.
You can see Adrian, who does the working out there and just supporting, because I didn't know that all those events are happening. So
yeah, Adrian, Bill Willmott and I have been discussing this already. We're going to plan for an event somewhere in the country, maybe in the Midlands, in a couple of months' time. Obviously, we've got nothing right now, but if we can fill a hall with 100, 200 people in some nice hotel or something, or a golf course or something, yeah, you know, it doesn't have to be more than an hour long. We are happy to do this. If you can bring in quality people there and fill it up anyway, I'm sure, you know, I think Bill and Claudia have already agreed to be there if, you know, we give enough notice. I think this could be a start. So basically, we, with online marketing and even UK-based physical events, we are basically shaping the future of the company, and we have a blank canvas to start with. So if you want to brainstorm on that, I'm all yours.
Okay. And I think the timing for that would be, to be quite honest, when the actual crypto is launched as well. The timing, because going into live events saying we're gonna have this, we're gonna have that. Let's go there with the real deal and have it there. And so this is what we do have. This is what you can. This is how you can win. This is how it's going to help you change your life. Have all the tools there available for the people rather than going there half-cocked in one sense.
And my last question, I think, what about not so much for myself, but for new people on the internet, social media-wise, do you plan on, I know you've got 2 or 3 different landing pages or sales pages there. Do you plan on expanding on that, or doing some kind of follow-up emails or some kind of marketing, automated sort of campaigns when people opt in, they put their name and email in? you've got some kind of follow-up system. Do you have any plans for that, or is that left down to us to do that ourselves?
Well, I think you're the best of doing it, but with that said, the company also has to have a foundational, concept. So we do have the Swiss Gold Global where you can put in your details and so on. So that needs to be done correctly as well. We do have the What Would You Change Here for Bob Proctor video that Bob did for me. I paid for him to actually go and do it, of course, filming in Toronto. He did for us. That could be changed. We have the realwealthrevolution.com. So we actually have the foundation. The system is already engineered. So if you come up with a nice design, simple page, and you wanted to have a subdomain concept, adrian.swissgoldglobal.com or adrian.goldcrypto.com or something, whatever it might be, as a lead generation page, we could actually do that because it's really just a new skin. It's a matter of having the design, the concept, of course, the videos to support it, and of course the auto-responding emails. But the whole system behind it is actually already built. But right now, just to let you know where we are on the resource side, our resources are totally 100% consumed into the crypto world right now. Okay, that's what we're doing. We must achieve this target. I'm cracking the whip big time. At the end of October, that we pull this off, have a live crypto exchange, that we have our mining available for our members as well, and upgrade packages and things like that. That's just the phase 1 cycle of that. The new face look of what Swiss Gold Global is going to look like, a new website. Then we've got, of course, languages as well. So we're not going to get translations done right now until such time as the new website and the new modules are in place. So we have a lot of work. So it is a resource issue. So it's going to be, it's a matter of prioritizing, and I'm just being truthful here as we operate this this spacecraft in one sense, this gold crypto spacecraft in one sense, to help change people's lives. So, but as feedback comes from you leaders, which is really important, and Prem and Claudia have been fantastic at this, providing ideas and feedback. I encourage that, and you might say, and we got some things done. Prem and Claudia came to the table and said, we need this done. And relatively quick, I would say, we managed to get a few things done for them. And we can take it to another level, but again, it's going to be a priority, to be quite honest, prioritizing this work that needs to be done.
Okay, that's great. Well, I'm done now anyway, everyone. Unless anyone else has any questions. Well, what about you, Ryan? You still there? Would there been Ryan back in?
Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I just really enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to really getting this going with you, Adrian. Thank you for having me today. So, very excited. Like what I hear.
Okay, great stuff, Ryan. Like I said, so myself, Ryan, Bill, and Prem, obviously us three in the UK. Ryan's in the US. We just keep in touch now and start doing our social media sort of stuff and get this out there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to working with everyone, and looking forward to sort of taking this now to the next level. So I just want to thank you all for letting me put this out there, this Hangout out there. It's been recorded. We're coming up to about 2 hours long, so it's great now to be able to use this recording to pass out to our prospects and future team members. And there's been a lot of stuff covered in this, and perhaps we can do another one every few weeks and see where we go from there.
Just okay. I don't know whether it's appropriate. Yeah, a couple of things just like to finish up on, and that is on the gold side. Okay, people can be blinded by the gold. I think that if you're going down the gold path, it's a great avenue to go down. But at the same time, the message has got to be get paid to save in gold. I think that's a very, very positive thing to have. If there's a gold buyer out there who just wants to buy gold and doesn't want to be involved on our programs and things, they'll be able to get it possibly cheaper than maybe they're not the suitable client. So just be balanced in there. The whole concept is we want to line people's money with paper currency that we convert into some crypto, and we can convert into some precious metals, and they can liquidate out very, very easily. That's truly what Swiss Gold Global is about, I think. Because what you'll find, as soon as you're involved with gold, you get a lot of people who are locking onto that, have no understanding really of gold, but they'll ask a lot of things, and in the end it's going to come back to them just on the price of it in one respect. And just like, you know, Prem bought a nice Mercedes, I like to say, Prem, what did you pay for it? And I can say, I get that cheaper over here. You're always going to find someone cheaper or something else. They won't have the products, the services, or the support or the service they provide you, but people don't always look at the big picture as well. So I think it's a matter of telling how we tell the story. And I think collectively you guys have good marketing minds, and when we get towards the crypto side, I think we need to have a mastermind on what our story is going to be as well. So it's very, very clear and easy to understand. I think that's really important. I think Ryan touched on this the other night as well. We've got to keep it very, very simple.
Okay, that's great. I think that's a great end to everything there, guys. Unless anyone else got anything else to say? Prem, anything else to say, or are you okay?
No, I'm good. I'm available on Facebook. I'm happy for just about anybody to get in touch with me. If they're coming via Adrian or Ryan or Bill Willmott, due credit. I'm happy to help support each person grow their own business. So I'm available for three-way calls. I'm here to help grow this team because I failed in a previous attempt. I grew a team, and my failure was that my team itself could not replicate or grow. And that's simply because they kept getting stuck with a silly binary compensation plan. So if they weren't growing, I wasn't growing. So this is where I believe we are in a perfectly good situation. The whole universe, the economics, the media is telling us gold and silver is the way to go. And at the same time, we've got a compensation plan that is fair, legit, easy to work, affordable, and very, very nicely put together. None of the affiliates have ever even thought about quitting. They're all engaged because everybody accumulates silver by default, and then it's just a matter of making sure that you are basically covering your costs, and then you start rolling up all the other remaining branches within our program. I mean, it's just a perfect fit, and we are in the best possible timing in the market to take this to another level. That's all I have to say for now.
That's brilliant. Thanks for that. What about you, Bill? Bill Willmott, anything to say? Then finally on to Claudia. Not sure if Bill is still there. I'll come on to you then, Claudia. Finish off with you. I think Bill may have been stuck on mute there. I don't know, but have you got anything else to say, Claudia, to finish off? You're on mute, Claudia. You're still on mute.
Am I on now? Yes.
You're live now. You're okay now.
Okay. Just just to add to Prem, I'm here as well for any support, any freeway calls. If they don't have doubts whatever the gold, silver is real, I can show it. So I'm certainly here to support you. I'm traveling a lot. My life is a little bit changing. I'm going to go to Asia, and I got a lot of gold with me because I know, especially in Vietnam, one of their currencies, which they really still believe in a currency, is obviously the gold. So I'm going to do some noise over there, obviously. But I'm here for you guys for support to really, bring this mission out for people, because that's really what it is. I'm a marked girl, so to say, in sense of I understand what it means to have nothing and to lose everything. I really do, because that is what happened in my life. And I just don't want to have people in that, going just very quickly, going back when I was 12 years of age, I went to Russia, and East Germany, where I grew up, and Russia was our big brother, of course, and everything which is America or West Germany was the enemy. Yet in that big hotel, International, I never forget in my life, I was in the morning, in our breakfast room, we had a wall which was separated two breakfast rooms, once for the people who had the good money and once for the people who had the bad money, like we had from East Germany, right? And so, but we were the big brother. It was supposed to be our friend. Yet that wasn't the case. They had pineapples, they had mangoes, they had everything. We had a piece of bread and a little bit of margarine, not even butter. And so back then, I already realized there's something wrong in the system. Something is not right. Something with that currency is not right. And so I feel the same with gold and with silver. I really feel, and I feel so many people are missing out because they just simply don't understand paper currency. And so this is my passion. I'm getting very emotional about it because that's what I believe in, and I want to share this message and help people awake. And so I'm here for you guys to support you to the top.
Okay, that's a brilliant ending to an ending to all ends there. So I think we'll call it a night, guys. It's been 2 hours, and I'm looking forward to putting this out there, the recording out there, and using this recording to market this incredible opportunity. And I look forward to catching up with you very soon. And let's just keep in touch now, and let's take this to the next level, okay? And I think you're all muted, guys. So
Bye-bye. Bye-bye from...
Okay. We'll call it at that, okay? Cheers, guys, and thanks.
Thanks, Adrian. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, everyone. All the best.
Cheerio.
Cheers, Bill. All the best.
Cheers.